guys, welcome back to Let the Flock Farm Home Renovation Edition. We're going to be continuing our project of turning our large one bedroom into two. I have Carlos today helping me. He's a friend. He's going to be taking care of the window while I'll be continuing framing and getting everything else ready for the continuation of this project. Alright guys, so Carlos is on the outside. He cut away the siding. He's cut away some of the plywood. So I'm going to start working in here on taking off this drywall so we could expose these wires, because this outlet or these switches are going to have to be moved. So we'll go step by step with that as well. There's Carlos making some noise. On the header for over the window, you have to put a header in. Well, I went over this with the door frame, but this is a little bit more significant since it's going to be in an exterior wall. That is a load-bearing wall, and you have to put a header in when you're opening such a large space. Doing those spacers that we talked about in the first video in order to make this header. We're getting ready with our board. We're going to be using this particle board. We're ripping it down to 5.5 inches because a 2x6 is 5.5 inches wide. We're going to be putting multiple pieces together in order to make our sandwich that we talked about in our first video. So first things first, we're unplugged. I got my measuring tape. I got my guide in place, and our blade is up. You want to be able to make sure your blade is up. And we unplugged it so we know it won't turn on sporadically or by accident. So we need 5.5 inches from the inside of the blade. Sorry about that. So right there, 5.5 inches coming off of that wall over here, and we should be solid all the way down. Yep, our bit, or our circular saw bit blade will be right on there. So that'll give us exactly 5.5 inches between here onto here. We're going to rip 4 pieces. Just want to point out that you should always use a block or a push bar that comes with your table saw in order to get your board all the way through without getting your hands close to the blade. Alright, so now that we have those 4 pieces cut, we're going to go ahead and start our sandwich. I have the 2x6s already out. We're going to pull them apart and glue each piece individually, throw some screws in as we go. So we're working on the header still. I have my sandwich going, I'm gluing each layer. Then I'm starting to measure as I'm coming up and building up my spaces. All we're trying to do is hit 5.5 because our 6-inch 2x6s are 5.5 inches wide. So we got to go 5.5 inches high. And once we get in there, we will be turning this to put it up into the wall. So I was using a little bit bigger OSB than I thought I had. So we're actually there. We didn't need to use all 4 pieces. So we used the 3. We went solid, 2 pieces of OSB glued in between, solid board, piece of OSB, solid board. Now we have our 5.5 inches that will be put up as our header. That'll make it very strong, and that our wall won't fall down or our roof won't fall down. Good thing that we had the foresight to put up the tarp between the house and the van, because it started raining. There's one of the ducks, another duck. So Carlos has started getting over here. He's cutting the top. He's going 5.5 inches higher than our window opening. And then we'll go down here. He'll be 1.5 inches high. Or I'm sorry, 1.5 inches lower than our window opening as well, because we'll have a sill plate that goes on top of there all the way across. All right, guys, super important detail. Now that you have your hole open, I want to and you have your boards cut, make sure that you put a screw in through your plywood into your studs. That way it's secure. Your studs aren't going to wobble around, and your plywood's not going to try to pull away from your house. So we're going to go ahead and move the light switches that control all of the outside lights. There's still power to it, and my breaker box is not marked. So Carlos here is going to keep his tester inside here, and it's going to keep it testing until I shut off the breaker. All right, so we're guessing that it's these 2 here. Is it good? All right, we found it. The wire down. All right, there they are. Breaker's still off, so that's good. Otherwise I'd be being zapped right now. So just like we did with the doorway, we're gonna do the same thing with the header here. We're gonna put our piece up, and we're gonna bang a board in, and then follow it up with another. Start to put your window in, all the rest of the work is done. Make sure that you take Now, I don't have house wrap on my house. At some point, maybe a year or two down the road, I'll be re-siding the whole thing. So I'm not too worried about it right now. But in preparation, I am going to be taping from here down. This is our window. The two windows in one. We just tested to make sure that everything fit. We sat it up and put it up into the hole. Everything was pretty darn good. Everything's level. We had it sitting right down here on the sill plate. What we're gonna do now is we're gonna put a little shim every couple of feet on our sill plate. We're gonna go ahead and put silicone down all the way around our perimeter, and then we're gonna set the window. Screw it in, and pretty much the window will be set. Then we'll do our trim work and all that fun stuff. So we got our window in, we got it sealed on the outside. Tomorrow we're going to be knocking out the trim and the J channel so we can get everything sealed up from the outside. Then we'll be going and doing trim work on the inside and then getting our insulation back in, some drywall. We're still going to be eliminating this wall so we can open it up in our space. As you could probably tell, the trim work for the outside of the window was done off camera. I wasn't around at the time and Carlos took care of it for me. On a later date, we will show you how to install trim work around outside of the window, putting up J-channel and all that fun. So hit the bell icon, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe so you can keep notified.
Si les gusta este video, por favor denle like y suscríbanse a este canal. Gracias por mirar este video.